Hey guys, this is Joy. I'm back. Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? So I know I was supposed to be on here a lot earlier. I made a post on my tarot saying that I was going to be on here at about 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, but I'm going to be honest, you guys, I was a little tired. So but yeah, you guys, I'm here. I'm back. Hopefully you guys are having a good Sunday. How is everybody doing? Did you guys relax today for the most part? I know I did. I had did my laundry yesterday, so I made sure that I got that out the way so I didn't have much to do. Um I haven't really eaten anything. I took my vitamins. I've been drinking water all day, so I'm probably I did some exercising earlier, and I'm probably gonna make me something to eat later. But I don't really have a big appetite that much. I know I had a big dinner yesterday. I had some fries and I had like it was actually a cheesesteak, but it didn't have the steak on it. I know that sounds weird, but like, yeah, it tastes really, really good. It was from this place called The Catch. It's out here in Rockford, Illinois. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But yeah, you guys, I'm back. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. But I'm here today to talk about a really important topic, something that really resonates with me a lot, and hopefully it will resonate with you and help some of you, especially for those of you who are still in the healing process, recovering after narcissistic abuse. Maybe you're still struggling with it. You don't know how to put things together. You're not sure where to go. So this is just some helpful information for you guys. So basically, let's just go ahead and get into it. How to heal emotionally after narcissistic abuse. One of the things that really helped me was accepting what happened to me, accept that I was abused, and hey, it is what it is. Like, I can't control what others do. I can only, accept it and deal with it and then acknowledge it so that way I can move forward accordingly. But yeah, definitely you have to accept that you were abused, that you were a victim, and work towards being a survivor, a thriver, thriving after abuse, not just surviving. Because I understand, sometimes when I do say, yeah, I'm a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you don't want to live your life like that. You kind of want to be better. Although, yes, you have been abused. Yes, you were a victim, but how can you improve your life? How can you be better? What else can you do with your life? Maybe you want to be a life coach or whatever. Maybe you want to speak out about domestic violence or abusive relationships, or maybe you want to do something totally different, but maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to have a podcast. Maybe you want to have a YouTube channel. I don't know. But yeah, accept what happened to you and don't, beat yourself up. I know I did. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I beat myself up. I thought, well, how could I have not have seen what happened to me? Or how did I not know that this person was a narc? How did I not know my aunt was a narcissist? I had no clue. So it's like, you can't really beat yourself up too bad, but definitely you have to accept what happened. Don't try to say, oh no, this person's not a narc, or oh, they made a mistake, or oh, we're going to get back together, or oh, they're going to change. No, you kind of have to accept what happened. That's the first step to healing emotionally. Another thing is definitely you want to seek support and seek assistance. So meaning, whether you want to talk to a coach, whether you want to talk to a counselor, a therapist, trusted family or friends that, you could share this with and they won't judge you or make you feel like you're the bad person or that you're just making things up. I know that was one of the things that I struggled with because I didn't really want to tell anybody what happened to me. I didn't even want to come on YouTube and tell people that I had been abused. I thought people were going to judge me. They were going to think I was like, are you silly? Like, how do you not know? You know what I mean? And being the fact that I'm highly sensitive, I kind of deal with things differently. Let me know if you guys, if you have that experience, like you're highly sensitive and you don't handle or you don't cope with things like the normal person. Like that's just me all the way. I handle things differently than the average person. It might take me a while to recover from an abusive relationship or a traumatic experience or something that really kind of hurt me like deep to the core. So some people, it might take them 6 months, or some people might take them a month, who knows? But then other people, where they might be on a little bit more the sensitive side, they could be like an empath or something like that, very intuitive person. Maybe it could be an earth angel or a star seed or something like that. It may take them like a year or two, or maybe even 3 years or 4 years. It just depends. You know what I mean? So yeah, seek support and assistance, especially if you've gone through a traumatic experience. Somebody that has experience in, like myself, in narcissistic abuse over, let's say, 5 years. I've been dealing with narcissists since 2010. So yeah, you want to talk to someone that knows what it is that you've been through, because they're going to be able to understand you, relate to you, not judge you, validate your experience, help you to cope with it and deal with it. And so that way you can move on to be happier and find another person that would love you, be there for you, commit to you, and you don't have to worry about attracting another abusive person, or, is this person going to have baggage? Are they going to be like somebody from my past? Are they going to be real? You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about attracting another narc. So another thing is what you want to do is way in which you can heal emotionally is you want to set boundaries. That's what I talk about in my Building Better Boundaries video course, which I highly recommend you guys checking it out. It is available in the description box. But you want to set boundaries. The reason is because we all know that the narcissist does not give up on you easily. Whether they move on to another supply, they get married, they move to another state, or whatever. They go silent treatment, they ghost you, whatever. This person is always going to reach out to you. They're going to, whether it be from a third party, hoovering, flying monkeys, whatever, they're going to reach out to you. Know that. Always remember, the narcissist doesn't give up easily. They don't let you go. They always think that they own you for life. So even if they're married, you're married, this person, they could be with that person for 20 something years and still come back and hoover you and try to see what you're up to, see if they still have control over you, see if they can get you back, manipulate you. You know what I mean? So you always want to set clear boundaries, whether you tell the narc personally, whether your narc is a parent, it's a love interest, or it's a friend. You want to set those clear boundaries and let them know that you're done. It's over. I'm not dealing with this anymore. If you have that opportunity to say that to them, if you don't, then just go ghost. Don't contact them, block them, delete them, move out, do what you need to do. Take those action steps to make sure that you're safe and that you will be protected. I want to make another video too, actually, on what to do before you actually leave your narc, and how to go about, like, if those of you that are married and you are considering divorce, how you want to go about that. I want to talk about that. But for sure, I want to mention how to leave a narc and what you should do before you leave your narc, because a lot of you guys should know that the narc is very controlling. They don't like to lose their power over you. They will become very obsessive, and they will literally do any and everything to get you to stop you from leaving, to stop you from moving on. So you always want to be mindful of that. And you guys, leave your comments. Let me know what you guys think about that, and like what else you guys want to learn about narcissists, so I can, make videos on the things that you guys want to learn about. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's that. But yeah, set those clear boundaries. Make sure y'all give this video a like too, and chime in on how you guys have healed emotionally after narcissistic abuse, or if you are still struggling with healing emotionally, let me know. I love to hear about it and how you guys are coping and all that stuff. But another thing is how you can heal is you have to accept your grief. You have to accept your feelings, whether if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling shocked, if you're in disbelief. Maybe you're trying to bargain with the narc. Maybe you don't want them to leave. Maybe you feel like you can't find anybody else, or maybe this person is all you know. You don't want to start over. You don't want to start fresh. You just feel like, maybe you feel like you're too old, or maybe you feel like you're not pretty enough, or who knows, whatever it could be. You have to accept however you feel after, maybe you left them or they left you, or maybe maybe you guys are still in contact with each other. Maybe you haven't left, but you're there just existing, and you're just like, I'm not really happy. I want to find someone better that will treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. You have to accept that. But let's say you already left, or they discarded you, whatever the case may be, you see them with another person, you have to grieve. I don't necessarily recommend grieving by yourself, which is why I do offer the coaching, the one-on-one coaching, because you want to have that, accountability, but you also want to be and talk to someone that understands what you've been through, especially because I know sometimes when people, they grieve by themselves, they get those thoughts in their mind and they want to do not so good things to themselves. I'm not saying that's you guys, but I'm just saying it's a certain select few people that are like that. They have suicidal thoughts. They want to cut themselves. They want to hurt themselves. They just get in their head, and it causes them to have like nightmares at night. They can't sleep. They can't eat. They can't think. So when it comes to grieving, just be careful, but understand that you are going to have to go through that process. That's the unfortunate thing, but that is a part of the healing. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. Let me know. You guys, again, please leave a comment or leave your feedback. I love to hear what you guys have to think about emotional healing after narcissistic abuse and how you guys have done it. But yeah, definitely accept your grief. But another thing, what I will say is don't stay in your grief. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can give yourself as much time as you need to grieve, because everybody heals differently. You don't want to rush this. That's the whole key, because you don't want to be like, oh yeah, I was with the narc for like a year or two and I grieved for like a month and I'm ready to move on. That's not the usual normal thing to say or do. It's like, you got to give yourself time. Don't rush it. It's like, you're human. Yeah, like you probably love this person. Maybe you were married to them. Maybe you had children with them. Whatever the case was, it's like, give yourself time to be by yourself. It's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? But feel those feelings though. It's crucial, because you don't want to be, saying like, oh yeah, I moved on for the narc, or, it is what it is. I'm going under someone else now. And then you're going to hurt another person. How do you think that's good? That's like karma too, because it's like, you hurt another person, that's going to come back to you in tenfold, like in any way, you know what I mean? So you always want to be careful about how you are impacting other people, especially if you haven't done your inner work or you haven't healed yourself on the inside. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. And that kind of goes along with what else I'm going to talk about is, spending time in solitude. And if you have that opportunity, because I know some of us, we have kids and, we have a lot of responsibilities. So whenever you do get that time by yourself, just spend it, whether it's praying, meditation, if you do have a coach or a counselor, chat with them, or, maybe you want to take a bath or just, relax, but spend that time in solitude, or whether you're reading, listening to music, or whatever gets you relaxed, whatever makes you feel like, calm and at peace. That's what you want to do. And again, you kind of want to do that by yourself. But again, if some of you guys feel like you need that assistance, definitely reach out to, again, your support or however your assistance is, if that makes sense. And again, give this video a like, you guys, if this is making sense to you guys. Another thing is, you do want to forget your past. I also recommend forgiving. Now, when it comes to that, I'm not saying forget your past and go off and attract another narc. And sometimes that happens just because maybe we haven't fully healed, or maybe there's still some lessons that we need to learn. But now, when it comes to forgiving, you can forgive the narc, but I'm not saying you have to be with them still. You know what I mean? You can forgive and be like, okay, I'm never going to let this happen to me ever again. You know what I mean? So, but some people decide that they don't want to forgive the narc, and that's okay too, because I'm gonna be honest, like the narc, they do some damage. They can damage you mentally, psychologically, verbally, in all ways. And even some of it gets physical. Some narcs end up hitting their victims. That hasn't happened to me personally, and I pray to God it never does. And I'm praying the same for you guys. But again, there are some cases where some people, it gets physical. So, and some people decide, I don't want to forgive the narc, and that's okay. But what you don't want to do is hold on to resentment and, just have this belief system about relationships, whether you're a guy dealing with a female narc or a male, or if you're a female dealing with a male narc, you don't want to be bitter towards the opposite sex. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, oh, I'm holding a grudge. Because to me, that makes you a narc, because you're just like, okay, somebody hurt me, somebody fucked me over. Excuse my language, but that's how I kind of wanted to communicate that. But you want to still give love a chance. You don't want to give up on love. And I know sometimes the narc will make it so that you don't want to date anybody ever again. You don't want to open up. You don't want to feel that pain again. But it's like, not everybody's going to hurt you. Now, a lot of us, we deal with a narc, or we date a narc, or we come in contact with a narcissist because it's something that we have to learn. It's a lesson. Maybe we need to learn a lesson about self-esteem, or maybe it's a lesson about how to love yourself, or how to not trust people so easily. You know what I mean? DD Martin, can you speak on sibling relationships after being raised by one, golden child versus scapegoat? So yeah, that's a good question. So basically, if you have narcissistic parents, then they will kind of label their children. So it's like the golden child is the one that gets everything. They're spoiled. They like show this child off. This person is probably like a high achiever. They accomplish a lot of things. They're kind of put out on the front for people to see. They show this child off. Now, versus a scapegoat is a child that I kind of feel like I had both. I was like the golden child and the scapegoat, which is weird. But the scapegoat is the person that they put all of that negative energy, or they blame everything on that child. You know what I mean? They're the reason for everything bad that happens in the household, or they just blame it on the child. You know what I mean? And actually, I should make a video about that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's what that is about. Golden child versus scapegoat. Yeah. And it's sad because it's like no child should let me know if that answers your question. But like no child should get like special treatment. It's like every child, yeah, they're unique, but it's like no one is bigger, better, or special. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's what some narcissistic parents, they do that. My aunt personally, she did that. As I said, I went from the golden child to the scapegoat. But she would compare her older children, her boys, to me. I'm a female. I'm probably like 8 years younger, almost like 9 years younger than her boys. And she would always try to compare them to me and say that I needed to be better. Or sometimes she would even brag about me, saying like, oh yeah, Joy graduated from high school and she's in college now and she moved out, like saying all this good stuff about me. And then turning around talking about, oh, like she moved out, but like her apartment is small. She's paying too much for her apartment. You know what I mean? Just like little stuff, just picking at me and saying that, oh yeah, you should move back in. What you're doing now, it's not good enough, And I again, me being the golden child, when I first moved in with my aunt, literally, you guys, I got any and everything that I wanted. Like literally, like I always was like going out on like trips and vacations with my aunt. She was pretty well to do for the most part. But and also I went to like Disneyland. We lived in where is it? Placentia, California. So like Southern California, really nice neighborhood, nice weather. And we was literally like, there was another Black family, but it was like 2 Black families that live in that gated community. Very nice, very well off. And yeah, we had it pretty good. She had 3 cars, nice home. We went shopping a lot. She bought I remember she bought 5 bras, you guys, and she paid like $700 for 5 bras, $700. Like, can you believe that? And yeah, she got paid pretty well, but she was miserable. She hated her job. DD Martin says the damaged relationship between the two, and we in our 50s. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, narcissists can come at any age. It does not matter. Narcissists can be 18. They could be 45. They could be 50. It doesn't matter, So, but yeah. And another thing that I would recommend too, the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to healing emotionally after narcissistic abuse is don't try to date so fast. I think I kind of already talked about this, but it's because you guys know that saying where they say, oh, in order to heal or to get over someone is to get under someone. I don't recommend that at all, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. After I stopped dealing with my male narc, this was in 2014, I ended up meeting a borderline, which is crazy, right? And so the good thing about the borderline, I only dealt with him for 4 months. So that was great. So that means that I definitely learned my lesson. So DD Martin says, was the golden child aware of the mistreatment and why not speak up? Well, the golden child could know about, the mistreatment, but sometimes they don't care. I mean, they're kind of, enjoying their attention, enjoying their accolades, and they don't really care about, the scapegoat. It depends, because some golden children do, and then some golden children don't. Now, on my end, as I said, I went from the golden child to the scapegoat, and kind of that happened to like my cousins, which was my aunt's sons. And they knew that I was being mistreated. My older cousin, he felt the same energy from my aunt, and he was just like, I don't know why she's acting like that. So I guess in a sense he was kind of like a scapegoat as well. We all kind of like went back and forth from golden child to scapegoat. But my cousin low key, he kind of spoke up, but it really didn't do anything, because at the end of the day, she was like the woman of the house. I mean, she made all the decisions. Like, her husband, he loved her, so he wasn't going anywhere, and they have been married for like 30 something years. So I mean, you ain't going nowhere for 30 after you've been with a person for 30 years. Well, it just depends, like, because you got some people, they would break up with you at the drop of a dime, but it just depends. But I knew I think they're still married too. They still live in California and everything, but I had to move out. I couldn't do it. I was like, there's no way I'm going to put up with this. Like, I was miserable. I was miserable living with my aunt, and she was too. It's like, that's just almost like the video that I made the other day. It's like, if you have a narcissistic boss, the environment of the work is going to be toxic. It's going to be unhealthy, because it's like, the toxicity is coming from the boss. It's going to trickle down to like the workers, you know what I mean? So it makes the work like nobody wants to be there. It makes it toxic. It makes it like people, having little conflicts and chaos and drama, you know what I mean? So that's what that breeds. But yeah, so yeah, the golden child, they're the golden child. They kind of want to keep that position, and unfortunately for the scapegoat, it's just like, they get blamed for everything, and it's really sad. It's really, unfortunate. So yeah, but I was so happy when I moved out of my aunt's. But the crazy part about it, it took me going no contact with her, because she just was overstepping her boundaries. And she didn't care, and she knew like what she was doing. She wanted for me to move back in with her, and I was determined. I was like, no. And actually, I never shared this with you guys, but I was so determined not to move back into my aunt's that I actually slept in my car for a month. I never shared this with you guys. This is something that I kind of kept to myself. But I actually shared it when I used to do. I was doing like network marketing, and I was kind of like explaining to people why I was so, inspired by, working for myself and being my own boss, but, and my aunt was totally against that. She's like, oh no, stay with corporate America. Just keep doing that kind of work, even if it didn't make me happy, you know what I mean? But the whole reason why I stayed in my car was because, I was living with a friend of mine. Well, I thought she was a friend, and her and I, we kind of got into it. And I'm going to be making another video about jealous, narcissistic female friends. But I actually have a story of where a friend of mine's for 10 years literally was mimicking any and everything that I did. Like, that was actually pretty scary, but that's another story again. I have so much. But in regards to my aunt, I lost my train of thought. I was saying something about my aunt. But yeah, she was super toxic. super toxic for sure. And yeah, very heartbreaking experience. There was something I was gonna say though. Was it about when I went no contact with her? I'm trying to remember. I can't think. But anyways, you guys, y'all let me know. Did this video help you guys? And how have you guys been healing emotionally, or are you guys still struggling with that? Like, what's been you guys' biggest struggle when it comes to narcissistic abuse? Oh, that's what I was talking about, the dating. Yeah, don't ever go back to dating again after narcissistic abuse, because you could hurt someone else and you don't want to have that kind of karma, you know? So yeah. But did you guys have any other questions or anything you guys want to discuss about narcissistic abuse and your experience and your story? And I've been no contact with my aunt since 2015. My male narc, I was no contact with him since 2014. What else? My borderline, I haven't spoken to him in years. I only dated him for 4 months. Thank God. I learned my lesson quick. But yeah, it's definitely been a journey. What are the places you've experienced since going through what you went through? You said, what are the places you've experienced since going through? What do you mean by the places, DD Martin? You mean, where have I traveled to? To be honest though, like, I don't know. Like, I know everything happens for a reason, but I always be like, God, like, wow, I can't believe that people are this evil. Like, I mean, I understand like everything that's going on in the world now, and especially, you know, like with racism and all that stuff. And I actually want to do a video about how racism affects Black mental health. Do you guys think that would be a good topic to talk about? I think it would be, honestly. I want to make a video about that and share how, you know, racism affects Black mental health, or just anybody's mental health, because that's actually, I know they're talking about like the COVID-19 and how that's a virus. I honestly feel like racism is a virus. I'm just saying. Oh, what are the benefits you've experienced? Oh, okay. So the benefits, I feel like I could kind of trust my intuition now. I don't doubt myself ever anymore. I really listen to my gut. Also, I just learned to kind of like get to know people a little bit more before I put my trust in them. But I feel like I'm really sure of myself now. Like I don't question myself. And whenever it's like when someone shows me who they are, I listen to them more, because I used to be the kind of person like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But now I'm just like, you're guilty until you prove innocent. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of like how I am now. But it taught me a lot. I'm gonna be honest. It taught me a lot. And my emotional healing, what did learn about you? Oh, what did I learn about me? That I am strong, that I am lovable, that I'm capable of having a healthier relationship, but also not everybody is good. Some people are evil. You know, some people are out to get you. Not everybody, but that's some people of the world. It's not everyone. But yeah. And at the time when so I was first introduced to a narcissist in 2010, and I finally went no contact with both my aunt and male narc. My male narc, it was in 2014. My aunt was in 2015. So 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So roughly I have like 6 years of experience with narcissistic abuse total. So, yeah. Oh, that's what I was talking about when I was staying in my car. That's what I was saying. Oh, the reason why, and I'm going to tell you guys, I didn't have to stay in my car for a month. I literally was living in my car for 1 month, you guys. I did that because I didn't want to move back with my aunt. Now, that's how you know that she was toxic and that I was dealing with something that wasn't normal, when I would rather stay in my car, live in my car, you guys, versus moving back in with her. Now, granted, I had already gotten in contact with, there was this communal, like, living assistant services that I had gotten in contact with through a friend. And, I stayed in my car for a month, and that, like, each week I had to prove that, that I was living in my car. And what they did was I ended up, they paid my rent for a year till I was able to get back on my feet. But that's actually something I never shared with you guys. But I think it's good inspiration, especially, if, you've been through an experience like that, just to let you guys know that you guys are overcomers. You guys are stronger than you know. That you can overcome anything. It's just, it takes your resilience, your faith in God, your faith in yourself, and your purpose, and knowing that you're going to make it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's something that I overcame, is when I share that story with a lot of people, just to let them know, like, hey, you're not the only one that's been through this and that is going through this currently, and yeah, it's definitely not the end of the world. But yeah, make sure y'all give this video a like. Give this video a like, you guys. I usually try to do these videos weekly. I have my tarot, which I do. I'm going to be making the zodiac signs. You're welcome, Dee Dee. I'm going to be finishing up the second half of my tarot videos for the second half of June. But I'm going to try to make these narcissistic Q&A videos every week. Especially on Sundays, but then I'll give you guys 2 tips and strategy videos on things that you guys are curious about, or the things that you guys want to learn about. And again, please feel free to leave a comment on other topics you guys want to learn, so that way I can keep making these videos for you guys. But if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm gonna head out. But I do appreciate, for those of you that did join me, if any of you guys would like to reach out to me or work with me one-on-one, you do have that opportunity to do so. You can visit my website or you can email me. And just so you guys know, I am hosting a webinar on how you can overcome narcissistic abuse. That link is going to be in the description box. And also, for those of you that are still kind of struggling to maintain and set boundaries with, a toxic ex, or maybe it's a toxic parent, or even it could be a friend, I have my Building Better Boundaries. It's a video series course. You guys could check that out. That is available, because I like to do the coaching for those that want to work with me one-on-one, and I kind of have the, like, do it for yourself video course that could kind of, like, you could do that on your own. It just depends on however you guys prefer. But I do appreciate you guys for coming in on the channel. I did want to say thank you to those of you that did donate to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always appreciated. Again, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for your support. I'm going to head out. Again, I am hosting a webinar, so check that out. That link is below on how to overcome narcissistic abuse. And if you guys want a do-it-yourself program, check out my Building Better Boundaries video series course, A Stronger You. Other than that, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.